più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano.
Good day, everybody. My name is Hannah, and I am loving, living, and inspiring through classical music, shared experiences, and lessons learned. So today's video is going to talk about what got me interested in opera in the first place. At around the age of 16, I met my voice teacher, the voice teacher who I've stuck with through all these years, and she introduced me to the opera world. Number one, because she herself is an opera singer, and she was teaching me that technique. So I started taking lessons with her, and because she performs herself as well as her husband, they were performing locally, and when they performed, they were able to get their students into some of the dress rehearsals so they can watch. And again, I was around 16. I believe I was in my junior year of high school. So I went to my first opera through my voice teacher, and her husband was actually performing in it. And the opera was called, I'm gonna say the English title of this because the opera is in French. So the name of the opera was called The Pearl Fishers by Bizet. And there's a really famous duet in there that's pretty cool to listen to if you check it out. I'll put it in the description in the comments so you could see it. So I went to my first opera through my voice teacher, and from that point I was hooked. So if you just go on YouTube right now and type in opera or look up famous opera singers, there's some pretty cool recordings on there that you could still get a sense of what it's like, but you truly don't fully know what opera is like unless you experience it in person. It is completely different. So when you are experiencing opera in person in the audience, you hear different things than what you would hear in a recording. A voice live is different, and the sound is, you can literally feel it. Like if you're close enough to someone when they're singing, you can literally feel their voice, which is really, really cool. And the thing that really captured me with opera and this first opera is that even though it was in French, a language that I pretty much knew nothing about, I was able to understand the intention. I was able to get it, if you know what I mean. There was a scene in Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts where she goes to an opera and she starts crying in the opera, and I believe I can't remember what the guy character is, but he asks her why she's crying, and I think she says something along the lines of, I get it, or something like that. And it's the same thing. It's just, there's something that you understand when you watch opera in person. You're able to understand what the intention is, and sometimes it can hit you in a spot emotionally that you don't know why it's hitting you there, but it is, which I think is just so cool about it. Also, the voices are amazing, and I'm also going to admit the fact that one of my teachers was performing in the opera also made me extra proud. And to see someone who you know and look up to see them up there in action is really inspiring. So it was from that point where I really got into it. I was really interested in learning more about opera singers. I remember in high school, I was in this video editing class, and on my free time I would look up videos of Pavarotti and just watch, him singing different things. And so I decided to go to school with something in music, and but I didn't want to do a performance degree because for my own self, I just wanted to be being financially stable is important to me, and I'm not against anyone who does go into vocal performance. just for my own self. I wanted a little bit more of a security, so I decided to go to school for vocal music education. And through that, like in my head with opera, I knew I wanted to do it, but I don't, it's something that you don't know how it's going to turn out when you yourself are trying it. So throughout college, I always had this thing in the back of my head that was just, let's see where this takes me. Let's see what comes of this. So I continued to follow that feeling, and after college, I decided to continue voice lessons while I was teaching, and I still love it. And there's so many things that I've learned from watching operas, from being in operas, from studying this technique, and I'm still seeing where this takes me, and I am completely fine with wherever this does take me because I love it. It's one of those things where being on stage feels like home. I feel like I'm at home when I'm performing on stage. It's a strange feeling or concept to grasp. It's just, that's the only way I could describe it. I feel like everything is right when I'm on stage. So long story short, the thing that got me into the opera was basically my teachers. They are the ones who opened the door for me. And I believe that a lot of people like things that are familiar to them. For the longest time I never ate guacamole because none of my family ate it when I was younger. It was never around me, but it took like seeing friends and other people eating it before I would even come near trying it. And it's just because they're not exposed to the thing. So I feel like opera is one of those things that's not widely well known. I kid you not, literally when I was in high school, there were people who truly didn't think it still existed anymore. They thought it was like a historic thing that used to happen, and they weren't quite even really sure what exactly it was. And I think it needs to be, at least we need to build some more awareness of it, that it is a thing, because it's truly, watching it, that you learn a lot about yourself when you watch opera. Like I said, when you watch things and it strikes a chord emotionally in you, and you're like, why did that make me cry? I remember the first one I went to, that duet that they have, there's a famous duet from that. I'll put it in the description if you want to listen to it. I'm not sure what the words are, but for whatever reason, I started crying when I listened to it. And it wasn't like a sad cry, it was beautiful to me. And it has so many things that can be healing, and to just bring more beauty in the world. I feel like it's something that's so inspiring that people should at least just know about and appreciate. You might find some of your favorite artists. You might hear some things like the duet I'm talking about. It's one of those ones where you might have heard it on a commercial, or like on a movie somewhere. It's one of those things that's been used before, like as a background music. So you might listen to it and be like, oh yeah, I know this. So if you enjoy opera, or if you have some other hobby that you do, not a hobby, sorry, this isn't a hobby, I wouldn't call this a hobby for me, a passion. If you have a passion that you love doing, what got you into it in the first place? And why do you keep doing it? I'm truly interested in knowing. And also, if you too also enjoy watching opera or have been to an opera, let me know your experiences in the comments. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Non più tra i farfalloni amorosi.